We on tour, and we're doing it better than anybody else alive.
Cool. Let's go, baby. What you doing tonight, girl? Probably watching Grand Slam, ain't she, Big Joe? Holy shit.
Here you go.
Holy shit. Wow. Yo, Clint. I'm gonna need a magnetic. 180. Holy fuck, dude. This was in the same case of Tiger. Boom! Hey! Let's go, baby! Told y'all we fucking bring the fucking heat, son. Woo! Oh shit! There it is! Oh my god! The fucking bomb! Get some, motherfucker! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! There it is, I got it. I got my fucking card! Let's go, baby! Let's go! Let's go, baby! Yes, baby! Told you we could do it! Let's go, baby! Boom! What up? Hope everybody's doing good. Hump day! Triple threads dropped. We have it in stock. There's a sealed case right over there. I know I've got a couple to open live, so I'll do that today, I'm sure. Probably do it at lunch. So if you want a box of triple threads open live, grab you a box. We're $30 cheaper than the Death Star. Speaking of the Death Star, that was one of the things I wanted to go over today was, the future of the hobby or I don't think it's going to have a ton of effect on the consumer, except the way fanatics want you to purchase your product and things like that. And people, I mean, this is America. People are free to do whatever they want with their business, just like I am. I'm free to do what I want with my business. But the one thing that is abundantly clear is, to me, is their plan on how to take away distributors and take away boxes coming to the local card shop, which will be, hey, Grant, by the way, I got a good card last night on PSA. Whew. It should have been a fucking 10. It's the nicest. I just sent the nicest card to PSA that I've ever sent in, and the fucking thing came back a 910. I cannot believe it came back a 910. I thought for sure it was a 1010. But, I mean, if it was a 1010, it was going to be a big-ass card. So you know how that goes. Going to have Grant submit it for me. Jordan Gold, SP Gold. I'm not even sure if you can see it right there. Anyway, I'll get my cat's pictures off. But it's a 03 SP Signature Gold. It's the SP Signature Gold to 50 Jordan 910. But anyway, I just saw Grant there and thought about PSA. So I'm like ADD. So to get back on it is the way they want you to consume the card or purchase the cards, and their plan. Let me just lay out what the deal is their plan is to go straight to consumer, and I think that's a brilliant idea on the surface. I think they think, well, Nathan doesn't bring any value to the supply chain. GTS doesn't bring any value to the supply chain, Southern Hobby, etc. We'll just sell them directly to fucking Tyler Delp. And I think that whether they're right or wrong doesn't matter. That's what they're going to do. And it's in a weird way for me, I am really looking forward to this storm that's coming for, my dream wasn't to open up a card shop, get rich, pack up shop, and head to my island. It was to run a card shop on my terms and enjoy doing what I do day in and day out. And you can't really put a price on that. It's one thing to make some money. It's another thing to do something you dislike. There's plenty of people out here watching this right now that have a job that they fucking hate. And I don't ever want to go back to that. And if I'm being completely frank and honest with you, that will be in jeopardy at some point in time. And I don't know when that'll be because there's some variables. But it's an interesting topic for someone like me. 5 years ago when we opened this store, there wasn't another card shop in the country. I do not believe you will find a baseball card shop that opened in 2016 other than ours. Go look across. I mean, they're opening weekly, daily now, but back then that wasn't the case. So, I think that it's been a great run with as far as the allocations and those type of things if you earned it, but I enjoy a challenge. And like this is a challenge that it's different. Before it was all about myself and my family. And this time it's about trying to find a way to exist in your industry and make enough to, have Rookie have a good life, have Austin have a good life, have Sleeve have a good life. And it's going to be, I don't have all the answers, but I know that that's coming. And it's coming sooner rather than later. I think what will happen is you'll see them buy those companies. I think you'll see Panini sell sooner than when their agreement is up with the Players Associations. And I think you'll see the same thing with Topps because I think Fanatics needs those names for their products. I hope I'm wrong. It'll last, this will be a much slower transition if that's the case. But the reason I'm doing this video is to kind of let you know, because I think one of the things that bothers me the most about being a small business owner is how so many people say you're lucky or you were a victim of circumstance. And I want you to be able to follow the way we change over the next couple years, because I've always been a big, I don't know why, and maybe this is it, but if you ask the guys around here, like I'll always look up old businesses like Woolworths, Service Merchandise, Toys R Us, Sears, where they were big juggernauts in their industry, and through poor leadership, and sometimes things change. They can't control it. In this situation, card shops can't control that. But with that said, you can control how you adapt and how you deliver your product to your customers. And some people will say, like the simpleton will say, well, just hold more cars, just hold a bunch of cars and sell them down the road. Well, that's great in theory, but the problem is these companies have redemptions in the boxes. So I can't sell a box of triple threads for 10 years down the road, because the octograph, the booklet is a redemption and it's expired. So you can't do that. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to just put 25% of my stock back and then sell it over the next 5 years, and you have to be different. You can't just do that. I'm not saying you don't keep some, but it has to be gone, in my opinion. Like if you have the things with Zion and Ja are redemptions, or one of the two are redemptions, it has to be gone by that expiration date. You can't keep it. So what you're going to see us do, some of the things, like I said, I don't necessarily want to lay my game plan out. I want it to be for our customers to kind of see the changes that we make. I can tell you we're going to start putting singles on the site. We're going to scratch and claw just like we did before. Yeah, I have them, Jeff. If you want one, I have a case or two. That's kind of my forte, man, it isn't to sit at the beach and chill and look in the rearview mirror and say, oh, look what we did. It's to get my back against the wall, which I kind of feel like it is now with a lot of the other small card shop owners, man. Anybody who's been in this industry, if their card shop's 5 years old or older, they were never in this for the money. They just weren't. They were in this because they loved the hobby. So I hope I can help them too. But a lot of them are going to go away when this happens, when this transition happens. And I'm just being honest, in my opinion, that's what will happen. But with that said, it's time, if you're a small card shop owner, to start thinking about other ways than Panini dropping off a case of National Treasures at your front door and then you selling it to Blowout for a huge profit, and then they're actually the seller of the product. You can't even sell a case of Treasures if you tried, but you can sell it at a discount to Blowout, and then he sells it to some guy in China. Speaking of China, I ain't been on China in a minute, but anyway, I probably shouldn't get into all that shit right now. I'm pretty much want to do this video because, I want to let our average customers into our world, and I want you to see, as the plan unfolds over time, that damn, they went about it this way, and that's how they're able to continue to at least stay afloat when the storm comes. Because I promise you that the storm is coming. There's no doubt about that. It's just I don't even know if cards will be popular 4 or 5 years from now. They should be. There's so much money in this industry now. It's kind of like fucking Bitcoin. When my 77-year-old dad is asking about Bitcoin and doesn't think it's unreasonable to invest in Bitcoin, they've broke through. So my point is things can change in a hurry. And I don't know why I've always been enamored by businesses that couldn't adapt and adjust to things. I mean, Jeffrey not having a home is fucked up. Toys R Us being wiped off the map is so fucked up. Like, that's just poor leadership. This is like 1/1000th of something like that, 1/10,000th of it. It's to anybody else it wouldn't matter. But just between me and you, it keeps me up. I wake up sometimes and I think about it, not because of me. Not because I'm worried about money. I'm worried about my employees and, hey, what are we going to do if that were to happen? And, the plans are starting to be put in place, and I want you guys to follow along. And when you see those things, you're like, damn, that's why he's doing what he's doing. Because at the end of the day, when the storm comes and all these little houses on the island are knocked over and they scurry off because all they were about was that damn dollar, and we're still here swinging, it won't be because of luck. It'll be because we have a love for what we're doing, and we'll find a way. I mean, we have grading companies who won't grade our cards anymore. I mean, the only grading companies I want to use are PSA and Beckett, and neither one of them will grade our bulk cards. Don't hear me crying. You don't see me running off to HT47A and SIT and ISO grading company. I'm going to wait. I may be wrong, but I'm going to wait. I don't want my cards in those fucking holders. I'll wait. Got a company that's going to try to essentially wipe my business off the map. That's all there is to it. It's like, hey, they're going to try to wipe off everybody else's too that's in this industry, I think, as far as the card shop goes. I'm not talking about you guys that sell online and all that. That's not going to change at all. You're going to be able to sell cards, but this is serious business for me. And to get on these fucking CNN or whatever, fucking CNBC, and just straight up go on there and pretty much say, hey, I'm going to pretty much wipe his business off the map. He ain't seen, buddy, you got the wrong one. You might get some of them, but I want you to know that this isn't luck when it's all said and done. And I don't want to hear any bullshit anymore that we were lucky. This won't be luck. Yeah, and fuck China. When I say that, I do not mean anything. I mean their government. I want to make sure that I'm clear. I like all. If you're cool to me, I'm cool to you. I don't care anything about where you're from. None of that shit. I hate the Chinese government. Fuck. You know, I think they hold their people back. And I think they brought us this fucking virus. And if you got a problem with that and you don't agree, that's okay. That's something else. There shouldn't be anything wrong with with friends talking and not agreeing on something and being able to go different ways and not be mad at each other. Wherever we got in this spot in this world where if I think China sucks and you think China's awesome, we can't be friends. It's like, hey man, you have your opinion and I have mine. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can have different opinions and still be friends. You can have different opinions and still be coworkers. Don't let these politicians divide us, man. Politicians are just as bad as fucking China, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, all they're trying to do is divide us with misinformation. I mean, they got a vaccine and have people fighting over it and shit. It's ridiculous. You know, because, I mean, I don't even want to get into all that, but my whole point is they're no better. They do the same thing to us that I talk about the Chinese government do to their people. And I feel like, don't get caught up in that shit. Just because a friend votes a certain way or says something you don't like, don't fucking, like, you really gonna cancel someone or not be friends with someone because they like an old geezer who can't stay awake, or one dude likes a president that bronzes himself and is a complete narcissistic asshole? Let me tell you something if you don't know this. They're all assholes and they don't care about us. None of them. Your friends that you're turning your back on, they probably do care about you. If somebody's helped you move, if somebody's been in your wedding, if somebody's helped you when you're down, if somebody's listened to when you got a divorce, maybe cut them some slack on the way they feel about things. Whether they're right or wrong, just accept them. You don't have to, you know, I've never heard a Democrat convince a Republican that he's a Democrat, and I've never heard a Republican convince a Democrat that he's a Republican. Like, it's just a waste of fucking time, man. Like, we're all fucking human beings. You know, stop with the fucking divisive bullshit. The wokes and the fucking right-wing nuts have got everything out of whack, and I'm sick of it. Hey, man, your opinion is your opinion, and my opinion is my opinion, and that's it. No reason to give someone a hard time for what they believe in, man. At least they believe in something. Got a bunch of fucking clowns that just, you know, they're parrots. But with that said, man, that's one thing that I think would go a long way for our country, for real, is to just accept people, man. You don't have to agree with everything they say. You don't even have to like them, but be respectful. You know what I mean? Like, be respectful to someone. There's plenty of people I love a great deal. Like, I got my booster shot yesterday, or 2 days ago. That shit fucked me up. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I woke up at 3 a.m. I was like, what the fuck? And for about 4 hours, man, it sucked. But do I want to get a booster? No, I don't. I honestly don't. But I have a father that's 77 that I visit twice a day. I'm around people all the time. I've got to travel if I want my business to thrive. I have to make decisions that are best for me and my family. And if you don't want to, man, hey, do you. But don't give me a hard time for doing me. You know, like, I'm over everybody giving someone else a hard time for what they want to do. Do whatever the fuck you want, as long as it's within the law. Just treat people the way you want to be treated. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That is true, man. Now, it's kind of like, why is it that in most industries, when you're 70 years old, you're retiring, you can't do your job that you could when you were 60 or 50. But now all of our presidents are fucking 70 years old plus. You know, like, fuck, man, these guys go to bed at 7 o'clock at night, eat tapioca pudding, but they're supposed to be the best for our country? Yeah, right. It just, both sides of the aisle. I don't give a shit. You line them up, son, and I'm telling you, they don't care about us. But I think it's time that we get back to having some respect for our neighbors, man. And just because somebody doesn't necessarily agree with you doesn't mean they're a terrible human being or they're dumb and you're smart. I've been proven plenty of times to be dumb. You know, everybody puts their pants on the same way. Anyway, I don't know how I got down that rabbit hole, but I did. And at the end of the day, as far as the booster shot goes, at the end of the day, if I'm wrong and I kill over or I fucking grow a tail, at least I was doing something trying to look out for my dad or my customers. At least it was, I stood for something. And I'm not knocking someone who doesn't get it, but at least that explains to someone who thinks I'm crazy for getting it, why I'm getting it, and say, hey, man, at least he had some reasoning behind it. Wasn't like that motherfucker wanted to line up and do that. Fucking crazy. Anyway, boom! Y'all have a good day. The storm's coming. And if anybody wants to see a playbook, how to watch David literally load up his motherfucking slingshot and fucking go to town on Goliath, I'm right here. I promise you, we're coming too. We're not going to just lay down and complain about the things we can't control. We're not going to keep doing the same things and expect different results. Whatever it takes, the same tenacity that I had when we started is how we're going to ride when they come to take, you know, my employees' jobs. It ain't going to happen. You know what I mean? Like we're here to fight. So it is what it is. Hope y'all have a great day. I really do. It's hump day. We'll open some triple threads later. I've got a friend who I'm going to try to go live a little bit more. I've got a friend who's suffering from cancer that I grew up with. And he watches the show a lot. And I know it keeps him entertained. And he's got stage 4 cancer, he found out, and he's not doing too well at the moment. But it's one of those things that I'm going to try to go live, not necessarily to sell baseball cards to people, but to try to help people that are lonely or having a hard time, and just talk about life or whatever. Cards, I love cards. We can talk cards all day and night. But you're going to see me on more, and that's why. Yeah, Rocky 4 director cut tomorrow night. It's got like 40 more minutes. I did not get your email from the ICU, bro. No, I did not. Somebody at the store may have, but I didn't. I wasn't here yesterday. Man, that booster, man, it felt like I had the flu. It was wild. But anyway. All right, boys. Have a good day. Always remember, man, there's somebody out there who's got it rougher, you know. Oh, and another fucking thing. I almost forgot. Man, I heard that Grant Cardone guy is supposed to be like the biggest fucking salesman on the planet, telling people that home ownership was the dumbest thing he's ever heard of. He rents his mansions and all this shit. And let me just tell you, if you are an average person, the best fucking thing you can do is buy a house. In the long run, it will help you. That will build your nest egg if you don't put a second mortgage on it. And by the time you need a nursing home or whatever, your house is worth 4 or 5 times what you pay for it. Don't listen to shit like that, man. You should at least, at the very least, do everything you possibly can to get your credit and finances in order to own a home. I'm not saying that you should own 50 of them, but I think for the average person that works every fucking day, a damn house is a great investment. But that's just me. I heard that shit and I was like, what the fuck? Anyway, deuces. Holla at your boy.